Gentlemen, the New Year's Eve episode of the Sex Actually podcast with your host, Dave, the man, Neil, and Tasha Courtney. Hey, okay, so that was my big intro. That's it. That's all I could do. Talk. Do something.
Shut up. Don't jump in and immediately start accusing me like I've done something wrong. You just played the intro. It didn't go the way you wanted. And now you're looking at me like it's my fault.
It went exactly how I wanted. It's short. But when I look at you, it means it's your turn to talk. Let me breathe.
Well, normally you just want to run right over me and not let me ever get a word in. So that's what I'm working with. That's what I'm used to.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge issue with the Sex Actually podcast. Broke my hard drive. Hard drive's gone. So I lost my intro. So all I have is the acoustic version of the intro, which I plan on playing the whole hour.
I hope not.
We are broadcasting live from the basement studio in Kentucky. I was going to say the address. We are in Tasha's parents' basement on a family vacation.
This is pretty good for a studio, though. This is a
it's
good
not bad.
setup.
I would totally underage drink down here.
Yeah.
I would totally just steal whatever schnapps I could and pour water into the bottle. Hope that your dad didn't notice. If I was underage 14 years ago, but not anymore, drinking Dos Equis. And here's the problem I have with women. They always want what we have. I asked if you wanted, there's plenty of beer in the garage.
I don't want a whole beer. I just wanted a couple sips of yours.
But I want a whole beer.
Well, so that's what I said.
Every sip you take from me takes away from what I want.
You already had a whole beer.
Yeah. And I want number two.
What I'm saying is if it really bothers you so much that you're going to have less than a whole beer right now, go get another one, and then you can have 1.5 beers.
Are you implying that I'm an alcoholic because I want 2 beers?
No.
Boy, speaking of alcoholics.
Stop. You're so full.
But your mom can pack them away.
That's not true
I love it.
At all.
Here's the best part for those listening. I always say for those listening, you're listening. So here's the best part about Kentucky is bourbon. We went to a distillery tour yesterday. Bourbon, I didn't realize this. It's basically moonshine that's aged in a charred oak barrel. So basically, back in the days of Prohibition, they had these barrels that smelled so bad because they had previously been stocked full of like fish and shit. So
and crackers and peanuts, everything got shipped in barrels. Anything that went down a river got shipped in barrels.
So they were exporting them. I guess it's not export if it's in your own country. They were
repurposing these barrels.
They were putting moonshine in these barrels. And then they were sending them down to Nolans. So 6 months would go by before they could open these. And they open the moonshine and they go, oh my gosh, this is good because it's been soaked in charred oak barrels. And they go, oh, where did it come from? They look up and it says Bourbon County.
Bourbon, Kentucky.
Which is Bourbon, Kentucky. So what do?
They call it bourbon.
They call it bourbon. They make a Bourbon Street.
Those
Next thing you know,
down in
chicks have their titties are out everywhere on Bourbon Street. Which, by the way, Bourbon Street does not discriminate on the age of which women show their tits.
Lots of old boobies?
I've seen at least, I want to say 18 to 80-year-old ladies. I've definitely, and it's like, the funny part is the older the lady, the more beads she gets. Absolutely. Men,
everyone's impressed for her.
Ageism does not exist when it comes to men handing out beads. Because it's like, this old lady can hang 2 beads for her. They know what's up, Grandma. Anyway, so we Merry Christmas, everybody. We're going to try to stumble through this episode. We just had a huge carbohydrate infused meal, mac and cheese, chili. We're hurting right now. So if the energy's down, you can blame Tasha's mom. Who's got me back on the bottle.
Delicious.
So this is my 3rd Christmas in a row at the Kentucky Compound. This is a good name for it, Kentucky Compound. And we're not recording video for this one. This is a straight to the audio. So we do appreciate those who've been watching the video. We're kind of ironing out the kinks on it, figuring out my Wi-Fi system, all that. We're going to do a good paint job for the studio when we get back. I'm looking forward to the Mevo live stream. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
But right now, this one's just for you. Hey, you know what? We're stumbling to the finish line in 2016. And here's what I hate more.
I'm just glad we made it.
I just hate people that go, 2016 can't end soon enough. Bro, that's a made-up number. You know what I mean? Like in 4 days, what's today? We're recording this on the 28th. In 3 days or 4 days, it's going to be the same shit. I'm still going to have that Amex bill. You're still going to have, Carrie Fisher's still dead. You know what I mean? Like it's, and I think people say that, 2016 was the worst. We lost Prince. It's like, don't put that shit on 2016. Like, it's almost like we're not dealing with life by blaming the year. Oh, 2016 was the worst. It's like, yeah, you cheated on your wife. You're a shitty husband. Your kids don't love you. Oh, but let's blame the year, Stephen. Sure. Okay, say something.
I'm sorry. I was listening to you rant. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
That's what you say when you weren't listening. that's Tasha's way of stalling.
You're
I hear what you're
calling me
saying. What exactly were you saying? Repeat that in a different way.
No, I don't know. I think the celebrity death thing is just like, yeah, it's sad for a lot of people, but it's bound to happen. Like all of these older people that are dying now were like the beginning of the golden age of television, right? So that's when like there were megastars that like kids were watching them on TV every day and like growing up with them.
Yeah.
And now they're all getting older.
And
it's not going to get any better. We're only going to have more and more celebrities dying every year because there are
folks,
more and more
2017 will be
celebrities.
chalk. Yeah, could you imagine? Not one person died in 2017. Like shit's going to happen. Like, and don't get me wrong, my buddy Diggs passed away. Yeah, there are plenty of reasons why 2016 sucked. But what kind of momentum is that going into 2017?
Well, I think that's what people are trying to say, though, is that they're ready to shed the skin of 2016 and like jump into a new and better year. I don't think they're trying to blame it on the year. Like
they're trying to sandpaper the zit off their face. That's what they're trying to do.
Who has ever
and instead of
sandpapered
instead of sandpapering the zit off your face, maybe don't eat so much cheese, right, folks? Maybe that's what you should do.
Cheese will make you break out.
How's that? Yeah, and I had some mac and cheese today. Skin's not looking too good. But the point is, like, and don't get me wrong, I talk like I'm on a high horse, but this is like me reminding myself, like we, what the power that we have in our mind, we heal things from the inside out. Like, sure, there are cancers that for whatever reason take people's lives we can't cure and other disease, but for the most part, and like, I'm going to reference the War of Art. So that my book, The War of Art, it talks about like it says like if you pursued art in your inner passion, you would feel no pain, no sickness, because you would just be like 100% living this like euphoric feeling like you're completing your life's mission.
Yeah, they do say that in older people, a lot of the reason that they begin to deteriorate, their health begins to deteriorate or whatever, it's like a loss of sense of purpose.
Yeah.
They're retired, whatever.
Versus
they don't
like
have
Betty White.
passions that are inflaming them every day.
Betty White, you can look at her synapses in her brain. She fires on all cylinders, and she's late 80s, right? I mean, it's just insane.
90s.
It's just insane where she's kept her wits and because a lot of comedians are that way. Joan Rivers was, way past where she should have been age-wise as far as like how there she was before she passed away. And it's because a lot of comedians really challenge your brains and then they'll go, I'm just going to go sit and watch the Golf Channel now. Or
you just have to continue to be passionate. You have to continue to find things that make you excited every day.
How can couples find passion together that keeps them from being complacent? Because, disease breeds in still water.
They can make soap.
Hey, ta-da, soaps on Instagram, folks. Hey, we had our first sale. We sold $40 worth of shit. And
soap. Don't call it shit.
You're
talking about being positive mantras. You should be saying positive things about our soap.
Our soap's so good. We're thinking about making and we never try to sell stuff on here. We talk about stuff, but I haven't once give people a link to buy this soap. You want to buy this soap? You got to find me in person and corner me with some cash. No, I'm just kidding. PayPal, folks. We're thinking about putting together a Valentine's Day package that includes Fireball soap, peppermint soap, maybe even some chocolate bourbon balls. Maybe we include.
We're not putting bourbon balls.
Sex Actually lube in there.
We're not doing that.
Maybe we make a whole little thing. Maybe a photo of me. Maybe that's what gets you off on Valentine's Day.
You overwhelm me.
I'm just thinking, what do you think, folks? We put together a little couples package there, little $40, $50 gift there with a bunch of different soaps you can rub on each other, a little coconut oil to mend the wounds from your past. Anyway, maybe not. Okay, on that response. Oh my gosh, the phone numbers are lighting up. People want to buy this thing, as seen on the pod. Anyway, so what are you doing resolution wise? Do you believe in that shit?
I never, ever make resolutions.
Yeah, look where it got us.
I never do. I guess it's important to concentrate on things. Like we kind of half-assed put together some vision boards the past couple of years. And I like that idea a lot. I like the idea of not necessarily putting, like a resolution to me feels a lot like like a failure if you don't accomplish it. It's like a thing that you have to do, a thing that you're forced to do, and there are consequences if you don't do it, and you're going to feel bad about yourself if you don't achieve this goal, right? My
Sure.
method is more like I'm going to set a goal for myself that I want this much money in my savings account. I'm going to set a goal for myself that I want SAG health insurance. I'm going to set a goal for myself that I want to book a commercial.
I just want a savings account.
But, I feel like those are important goals that you can set for yourself, and you can write them down or whatever, or you can just, some people pray about them every night before you go to bed when you're saying all the things that you're grateful and thankful for and putting out all that gratitude. Say also the things that you want, or, whatever works for you. If you meditate on what you want.
Do you believe, I mean, because I'm, without being too granola, like I think there's a positive and negative energy, and whether you want to call that heaven, hell, whatever, but I feel like positive energy, love, is the highest form of energy. So the more love you have, the more love you probably give to others. And I mean, we saw the other day, not to call anyone out, but we met a few people with negative energy, and you could feel it a mile away. And it's so crazy how but it's like if you have negative energy, you can't attract positive energy. You can only attract what you are. So it's kind of
Which is why gratitude is so important.
Yeah.
Being really grateful and thankful for the things that you have. Like my attitude about 2016 going out is we should be talking about all the wonderful things that happened in 2016, not all the bad things.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great that, I mean, it's hard to see politically. It's hard to see in a lot of ways, but
that's your job, is to like look past those things that are out of your control.
It's hard.
My grandma had a book that said that, like, who moved my cheese or something. My grandma had a lot of like good books about like, right? That's a book. Somebody out there is going to know what I'm talking about. But it's like, the things controlling that you cannot change, whatever. Like,
I get, not to make this about race, white people right now can't post online about how great things have been. Like it used to be like I'd share my gratitude.
Don't just say that. I think nobody in general, there's so many haters out there. Everybody, that thing about Steve, what's his name?
Steve Martin.
That makes me really upset.
So he said Carrie Fisher was beautiful.
About Carrie Fisher.
And they said she should not be judged by her beauty. It's like, okay.
It's like he's just trying to say a nice, like,
well, that's why I was considering getting rid of my comment section on my Facebook, because it's almost the fear of someone correcting me that keeps me from posting my honest feelings.
But that is like not a way to live your life. You should not live your life like motivated by fear. You should be smart and know that there are consequences for things that you say and do. But
yeah,
I think if you come from a good place, like everybody else just needs to shut up. Everybody should shut up about Steve Martin. Like he's coming from a place of love.
He's coming from love. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like 2017 for me, it has to be more positivity in my life. And through that, I've just started unfollowing, how everyone posts like, hey, beware, I'm going to start unfriending people, blah, blah. It's like, no, I don't need that announcement. I've just done it. Like I'm not defriending people. I could care less, but unfollowing them. I'm trying to filter my daily thing into just positivity. And that doesn't mean closed-mindedness, because you can have a different feeling than me, but still be positive. There are plenty of people that are Republicans, Independents, Democrats, Black, White, Puerto Rican, Haitian, that are positive for their own thing, and it doesn't knock me down. And that's what I want to attract more of. I think a lot of the people that listen to this are that way, because it's like, look, if you're all negative, you're going to find a podcast that just spews anger, but you're here looking for love, friendship, relations with your family, or love. You know what I mean? You're looking to find that connection, and it begins with loving yourself. And in order to love yourself, you have to appreciate all that you are, not all that you're not. So I'm appreciating the extra 7 pounds I've put on this week. All that I am is slightly overweight. Someone thought I looked 35. I'm 31, folks. That 4.5 years is hurt.
Who said that?
Your neighbor's boyfriend.
Oh, well, he's younger, though. He's a couple years younger. I don't think that that's necessary. Like, why do people, I don't know. For girls, maybe it's one thing because we're like, youth is beauty. But for guys, like guys get better with age. I don't think it's like I'm
looking good with age. I'm looking good in my 30s.
All that coconut oil.
Man, yeah, I got a lot of that Tada soap. January 1st signifies a new beginning. However, each day allows for a new beginning, and hence it's a reset. Every day is a resolution, folks. Right? I'm reading a Huffington Post article, so I don't know. I haven't got to the bottom. I don't know what point it's trying to prove. But every day we have to
wake up, start over, and do the best that we can.
How do we apply that, you and I, from ripping
in
each
our
other's heads off?
relationship?
Yeah.
Don't you think we've done a really good job on your family vacation, on my family
you apologized
vacation?
today. for
Well-
being kind of a cunt to me.
I was not being. We were running all over. We had like 50 appointments to make today.
My hard drive died, folks. How
And-
dangerous is
but
that?
You're just throwing on one thing after another. Like if you're not bugging me about taking people's headshots or putting together Valentine soap packages with bourbon balls, which is ridiculous, then you're bugging me about making an appointment to go to Crunch.
Yeah,
and
I
go
wanted to
the
see if you
Apple
wanted to
store.
go to the gym together, which releases endorphins and makes you feel good.
I'm so happy to put that on our list for tomorrow, babe. But you
wanna
don't
go to
need
Crunch
to just
tomorrow?
throw on top of me more and more things to do. You have to be considerate of the fact that I was already a little overwhelmed with the things that were on our plate today.
We took the dog to the vet. Boy, we're real domesticated. You guys want to listen about all this shit we have? Here, wait 1 second. We got to be positive. Now, the fucking dog went to the vet. He's got a fucking tapeworm in his asshole.
No, he doesn't.
No tapeworms here. He's got to get his teeth
He's
cleaned
getting
tomorrow.
his dental work done.
Boy,
tomorrow
which,
morning.
I don't remember how. You've already spent more dental work on him than you've probably spent on yourself in the last 8 years. What do we spend?
Of dental work?
Yeah.
Or just in general spending on myself?
saying,
Yeah, you're
like-
right. This dog is expensive.
Dogs are expensive.
He is pampered.
Anyway,
true.
I was trying to find a good article on New Year's resolutions, but it's not out there, so fuck it. So anyway, so we met this dude. Well, let's paint some pictures here. You're driving down your car, you listen, you're wondering, hey Dave, you're sleeping in your girlfriend's family's basement. What does it look like? Well, let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you what it looks like over here. It's kind of like one of those Princess and the Pea situations, but it's Dave and the Pea. So as you guys all know, I have a pretty bulging disc in my neck from a bad car accident slightly a year ago. I just had an epidural injection shot in my neck. I can't turn around without it cracking. I'm struggling, folks. My hard drive died. It's been a tough week. I'm gained weight. I got one of those chairs that slides me
You
up and
literally
down.
just stopped talking about how you need to stop complaining and start
I know,
focusing
but
on the positive.
at this point, it's for comedic effect here. So, and God bless Tasha's family, they're very crafty. They decided that the taller the bed is they provide us, the more comfy it is.
Well, it's
So-
more like a real bed. No one wants to sleep on the
So
floor.
there's a 3-part solution here. They've got a couch with an air mattress butted up against the couch, and then on top of that is a futon. So there's
futon mattress.
futon mattress with a pad.
Because it's softer than the air mattress.
And then, so the futon, there's no hard edge. This is like if you try to fall asleep on the edge of a sand dune. There's no edge. There's no edge to the fucking futon. It's already like a small double. So Tasha's sleeping in the middle. Like she's tacoed into the center because women, they rule the earth. And I'm just struggling to not fall off. Like I dreamt I was in the movie Cliffhanger the whole sleep.
You're full of
I've
it.
got my neck it's not doing well. And anyway, I just wanted to paint a picture for what the bedding situation looked like. It's
pretty luxurious.
and that's not one of
you're
those
complaining quite
this
a
isn't
bit.
one of those like flat air mattress. It's a great like multi air pocketed air mattress. It's about 3.5 feet tall with a foot tall foot. You're looking at basically if you sit up in this bed, you're going to hit the drop ceiling. That's what we're looking
not
at.
true.
I fell off it. The dog's more comfortable on the couch. This is what I'm working with. I just wanted to point it out for everyone who's listening that it's not all fun and games dating a model. You know what I mean? You gotta sacrifice comfort in many situations. Do you want to talk about your dreams? Is that something we're talking about?
Which one would you like to start with? I have very vivid dreams.
Yeah.
So last night I had
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Just share it. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. I think it's interesting.
You were feeling a little. You were
Well,
giving me
okay.
some eyes when I was telling you about
okay,
it.
yeah, but okay. Initially, if those listening in relationships, you're gonna dream about having sex with somebody else. It's gonna happen, and that in a
Has that happened to you?
well, I fucked every celebrity in the planet.
What about besides celebrities?
I mean, yeah, like what do you want me to admit to your
look
sister?
real
No,
guilty.
No. Well, let's get
Well,
back
if
to.
I'm going to be spilling my guts right now about what I was dreaming, you need to tell me what you were dreaming.
I'll tell you this: most of my like sexual dreams, dating back to the early days of puberty, are like celebrities. Like it used to be Britney Spears.
you serious?
Yeah, my first wet dream was Britney Spears. I didn't know what a wet dream was. And that's we talk about how strong the power of the mind is. You dream that you're fucking and you come. That's a fact. If you have an orgasm in your dream, you just jizzed your fucking futon on top of an air mattress. Like it happened. That's a fact. We're really getting into it at 20 minutes in here.
Do you think that you were like humping a little bit while you were dreaming?
Honestly, I feel like I've woke up to like, a spare teddy bear, with its eyes closed. You know, but no, in most cases, I don't think so. I think it's just the power of the mind. Now, let's talk about yours.
Well, 2 nights ago, I dreamt that I was at like a sex party. I mean, but it was, I don't know if it was necessarily a party, but there was lots of strangers.
Was it more like
happening.
a gangbang? How many dudes?
What's the difference?
How many dudes fucked you in the sex dream?
I don't know, babe.
No, I mean, break it down.
Maybe 2.
Oh, okay, really? Oh, all right. Wow. Okay, so 2, and you're adamant that they were strangers.
Yeah, they were almost all strangers. I
What was
knew
their-
some of
what was
the
their race and,
the
like,
other
body
girls that
type?
was there. Fat. Meh.
They were fat? Are you serious? You're totally serious because you're blushing. You fucked 2 fat guys in your dream?
Doggy style.
Oh, what is the matter with you? That's too much. You've crossed the line. Why? Their fat guts hitting your ass?
Babe, it was like strangers.
Was it raw? You fucking
I don't know, babe. I can't.
Don't not share these details. If you're having sex with some sweaty, hairy, fat Italian guy, I'm assuming.
I don't think they were hairy.
What, were they white or black?
White.
Okay, it doesn't matter for those listening because you said the right answer. No, I'm just kidding. But it says a lot. Why are you having sex with fat guys in your dream?
It was like a strangers thing. It was like a
strangers thing? Like the Netflix show? Strangers?
no.
I'm pretty sure that
I
show's
don't
not
know,
about
babe.
fat
It was
sex.
just like there were like girls that I know.
Let's talk
that
about
were
her.
there.
So you had a girl that you know try to fuck you.
No, just
Recently,
probably wanted
you
to fool around.
were on a work trip and you tell the story.
Well, I'm not going to put anybody on blast.
You don't have to say her name.
I wasn't planning on it.
And I'm not going to say her name because I can't bleep it out because I had a hard drive crash, which is why we don't have an intro for this. Amazon wish list is a MacBook 13-inch. Hey, if anyone has a MacBook MacBook Pro, and you're like rolling in the dough and you don't need it anymore, totally, like for a lifetime of shout outs and free soap, you can send it to me. I'll give you free soap for life. Anyway, back to the fat guy story.
Well, hardly anyone was people that I know. They were just a bunch of like young model girls. Girls
so
that
in your
were just
dream,
like,
you were with a girl.
everybody was, I don't remember all the details anymore. That was 2 nights ago. My dreams are very
Did you
vivid.
come?
I've had vivid dreams since
Was
then.
it good sex? Big dicks? Did it hurt?
No.
Okay. Well,
And I don't think you dream about those
I
things.
can't believe you're being this honest with me.
Why?
Because it's kind of like, I mean, guys could be listening, being like, "Oh, Dave's not providing his chick," which is probably true. I mean, like we're
and my parents.
we're on the. I know it's hard. Trust me, folks. It's hard to have sex on layered air mattresses and futons and flipping fucks.
Ew.
It's just not easy. Someone's gonna break something. And also, it's right next to a fake Christmas tree, which are very pointy. Okay, so you're in this dream with a chick who's quite younger than you.
Not by a ton.
But she's like a college age.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
What, are you trying to put me on blast and say that I'm not college age?
Tasha, come on. I mean, I'm 31. I'm not saying your age, but you're younger than me. You're not in your 30s.
Thank you.
Okay, but tell the story about how she came onto you.
Well, I mean, also this night, it's not like it was like a crazy out of the blue thing. Everybody was getting drunk and being experimental. I don't know who all was on
You're
which
in a committed
drugs,
relationship,
but lots
so
of
are you
people
getting
were on
drunk
drugs.
and being?
No, I was just having a couple of drinks, but I'm not trying to party hard while I'm working, or I'm just.
All right, you're on a work trip with a lot of models. Mm-hmm. They're all doing photo shoots naked, so everyone's kind of seeing each other's cooter me gooter, right?
I have not seen any of those girls' vaginas.
I've seen half of their vaginas
Well, I haven't.
because of your photos. So, I mean, I'm not saying I've seen them personally, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to make. People are listening like, what the fuck's going on with this relationship? All is well. We're just breaking it down of what I consider an interesting story. So you can share it if you want. You don't have to.
Well, I don't know. This person was just probably a little drunk and feeling a little experimental and wanted to see if I was on the same wavelength. So
you were in the shower.
And this person came in the
But
shower.
why were you in the shower?
Was rinsing off the chlorine or something.
So you were just in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this person also came in the shower.
Well, you have a way of making this so not as sexy as it should be. We're talking about 2 models naked in a shower. Could you please spice it up a little bit?
Well, I'm not trying
This
to
person,
make anybody
you're like not a
feel
doctor here. Come on. There's a lot of men listening here alone on a New Year's Eve. Like, hey,
I'm just saying this person came in and wanted to know what was up and maybe felt my boobs.
so she touched your boob, and then what did you say?
I don't know. I was just trying to quickly shower and get out of there witut hurting her
if a
feelings
dude
from shutting
cups
her
my
down.
balls, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to get out of the shower. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I was just handling it
She
gently
touched
and
your
then
tits.
getting out.
Did she squeeze on one hand, two hand, nipple graze?
Yeah, maybe some nipple grazing.
Did she graze your nipple?
Yes.
Did you not share this part before, or did you?
On with you, I told you.
All right, so what are you guys, face to face?
Yeah.
You're naked.
Yeah.
She starts grazing your nipples.
Yes.
Are they hard?
I'm in the shower. It might be chilly.
Okay, you're in the shower. She's grazing your nipples.
Babe, you're embarrassing
We're
me.
working this.
We don't need
Tasha,
to work anything
Tasha,
out.
you're
People who know me are going to listen to this.
You're the victim. I'm not shaming you. You don't have to feel embarrassed because she sexually molested you.
That's not.
I mean, technically, that's what it was.
Point is, I handled the situation very gracefully.
Which was?
I finished my shower, I got out, and then I went and did something else.
Yeah, but now you probably FaceTimed me. But now a year later, now a year later, she's in your dream.
Yeah, people from all sorts. It doesn't. Everyone I've ever met is probably in my dreams.
I'm surprised that other girl that you know who does a bunch of like sex parties wasn't in it. Wasn't she in a what was her sex party deal?
I think she just enjoys going to them.
So she doesn't fucking them?
I don't know.
Would you go to a sex party with me?
I mean, is that really our scene, babe?
Maybe if we get old and fat, maybe if I'm fat enough, you'll let me fuck you from behind. What the fuck? So, like there are dudes that are going to text me and be like, bro, what was that? No, I think it's interesting. I mean, I've had dreams. I mean, guys have dreams. You know, if you could read our dreams, we'd be in prison. The shit that guys dream about. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So I don't blame you.
Do you want to know the funniest part?
Please.
I got slapped on the ass with that person's dick when I was in doggy style.
How is this part of your dream?
I don't know. It was just my dream. I can't help what I dream about.
So you're not getting what you want from the relationship.
Is that your professional opinion?
It's my personal opinion. Like what, I mean, you know what I mean? Like what? You're just drinking my beer completely. Now I'm going to slap you with my dick every time. What? I mean, no, it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy or anything, but maybe we're not on the same page with
Our spiciness level?
Our spiciness level.
We could maybe turn the spiciness level up a notch.
Is that a 2017 resolution?
Okay, babe.
But you probably shouldn't have told me that.
Why?
Because here's the thing with guys.
Why? You asked.
Exactly.
I'm not going to not tell
we ask
you.
Everything. We ask things we don't want to know the answers to. No, I think it's cool. I think it's good. Where I come from, Irish Catholic, we don't share anything. So I think it's good to be open about things because our sexual feelings shouldn't affect our sort of love for each other, and it should be used as sort of like a training tool. You know what I mean?
I zoned out for a second.
Oh, what
I'm
the
sorry.
Fuck? Our sexual, like whatever is good or bad sexually, should be considered almost like a mechanical problem to our vehicle of love. Do you know what I mean? Like we should be able to diagnose it in a practical way.
Yeah, things that we like and dislike.
But instead, what you like, so basically, I think yesterday morning I asked you about, do you have any dreams last night? And you're like, yeah, I had sex, and I was like, with who? The more I asked, the worse it got. But your immediate defensiveness was being like, yeah, well, we haven't been having enough sex lately, so it's not my fault, it's yours. I'm like, okay, all right. Like the truth comes out quick. And I mean, it doesn't mean like we're like abstinent, but there's people listening that have written into the podcast that talked about like, hey, my boyfriend and I, like, he's not cheating, but we're not fucking, like, what's going on? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think a lot of couples deal with. It's normal to just like get busy with other stuff and be exhausted at the end of the day and be stuck in your routine. And it's, it is one of those things that's like one of those eggshell subjects. You've got to approach it very carefully.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I'm a nighttime sex guy. I'm like, get home from my stand-up show, have a beer, fuck. That's what I want. We don't. That's not in our repertoire right now. You're like a morning, like brunch, stay in bed, wake up late type of. But if a guy comes in the morning, what's he going to do with the rest of his day? Like, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of guys listening who go like, oh, what the fuck, I jerk off every morning. And like, yeah, I get it. But like David Dita, Superior Man, they talk about like you lose.
It being your life force, like your creative drive.
Yeah, you give it away in the morning, you lose your creative drive for the day.
I think that's more about like if you're excessive, like then you've lost your creative force.
When I
Not
took
every day you refill. You don't magically refill your creative force while you're sleeping.
When I took a shower on the way for the Mac store, I wanted to rope one out in the shower. I didn't have time to. I didn't, but I wanted to. But then I was like, oh, geez, how am I going to go to the Mac store right after? You know what I mean? Like, it's. Wait, don't look at me. Continue further this on. Can someone write in with this?
Here's the thing.
Help me out here.
Here's the thing. If your girlfriend is dreaming that she's having a sex party sex with lots of strangers, maybe don't go jerking off in the shower. Maybe save that for me.
Don't go roping into waterfalls. Please stick to the group sex dreams that your girlfriend's used to. She's getting slapped on the dick. That should be the title. Dick slap on the butt. That won't make sense. No, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. But also, you have to do a better job of not like crawling into your cocoon the second your favorite movie's over. You know what I mean? You got to like reach across the party lines here. Is what I'm saying. You're just voting with your party.
You can lead by example. You do your part. I'll do.
That's my point. I do beyond my part.
That's not true.
Every guy listening has, dated a girl. Like, we always like reach over and try to get sex. My thing is like surprise a guy, blow him when he's sleeping. Like wake him up. Morning, Dave. Like no guy in the history of the world is like, honey, I'm trying to get some sleep over here. Like it's just not gonna. Honey, today's a big president. Instead, he's gonna be like, oh, what? Huh? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Like if it felt as good for you to be woken up with a little pussy eating, then I would. But I don't.
It does.
You're telling me.
Yes. All right. It's the same thing.
Okay, we're gonna report back next episode on how that went. Hold on, your earbuds are in. She tried to drop the mic and walk away from the podcast with her earbuds still plugged in. So I'm solo now. It's just me. Are you back now?
I'm back.
And all right, is this too personal for you? I know we've stretched some boundaries. I just as that fat guy did, as he fucked everyone. You stretch boundaries, stretching boundaries. That's going to be the name of the episode. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're stretching boundaries here.
Well, it is a little awkward that we're not in the safe space of Los Angeles, 3,000 miles away, and we're in my parents' basement.
I know they're literally they can hear us through the air conditioning vent.
This is a very personal one for my parents' basement.
We're gonna go upstairs and your mom's gonna be like, "Hey Tasha, how your dreams been? I got your dream journal." What do you people dream of? Do you guys have crazy dreams? I mean, I don't know. I think you can have a good sex life and still dream of getting fucked by some stranger, but it's like, are you going to act on it? Like, because I'm honest with you, Tasha, and I hope you appreciate my honesty. Guys, including myself, genetically want to fuck nearly everything that walks by. Nearly everything that walks by. It's just a thing.
I don't think that most girls are that way.
Fine, but I'm telling you, every guy is. We see something.
So for you, it's like that much more scary for me to have a dream like that?
I'm not scared at all. It's interesting and it's healthy that we have, like, we would never explore it this far if we weren't killing time on a podcast. But I think it's interesting, and I hold zero. I mean, I'll be honest. Part of me wants to be like slightly offended, but that's like my ego being like, oh, my girl shouldn't be getting tapped by other guys even in dreams. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's important for me to pass the beer. It's important for me to not have ownership over you, especially in your dreams. Have a crazy wild dream, but I don't want you to feel like you're repressing yourself by dating some old slob with a broken hard drive. You know what I mean? That's not a sexual metaphor, folks. I actually broke my hard drive. It's completely fried, all 2.5 inches of it. That's funny because that's also the size of a flaccid penis to some, not to others. I'm not saying mine is, but it's also the size of a hard drive. Okay, moving on. I've lost the whole audience. What are you people going to do? Are you going to share this with your friends? Are you going to subscribe? We need to leave. I was hoping we were going to leave 2016 with 200,000 downloads. I'm at 194,000 downloads. We might hit 2,000 more by the time this thing ends in the next couple of days. We're not going to hit 200,000 unless something crazy happens, but we're going to hit it the first week of January.
Well, if every listener shared it with one friend, that could happen.
Our ratings and reviews keep going up. Dara from Florida wrote a rating. She's listened to every episode since the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a true gangster. What are you doing for New Year's, Dara? Where are you going to go? Like, do you have any good New Year's stories?
I feel like, yeah.
Well, let's be more specific.
I'm trying to think.
I'll start with one. I got slapped in Charleston, South Carolina at an aquarium by a blind girl. Yeah, I got slapped by a blind girl. She was legally blind. I don't think she was completely blind, but...
She knew where to slap.
Yeah, she hit me in the face. Not as hard as you punched me last week, but she hit
I
me.
have never once punched
She
you.
slapped me in a way weaker way than your strength. And maybe it was the blindness in her. I don't even remember what I did, but
Did you do something to deserve it?
I absolutely didn't touch her, but I can't promise I didn't say something stupid. I just can't promise that. I don't know. But did it warrant a slap? I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe you were very offensive.
No, to be honest, in both cases where I've been slapped by strangers, it also happened in West Hollywood, it was they were on something. This girl was probably wasted. Why else would you slap someone? Wasted. The girl in West Hollywood was definitely like a homeless lady on drugs who slapped me and said, "You'll know why when you're 40." That's what she said. So we'll have something to look forward to. But other New Year's that I've had, I did New Year's in Times Square. Horrible. I had to pee into Gatorade bottles, and it's just this New Year's. I think might be the first we're not out somewhere. Last year we were in Nashville. We might just be at home making champagne.
Where were we the year before?
Jello shots.
I'm really excited to make some champagne Jello shots. Actually, I saw a recipe online that I want to make. They look awesome.
2 years ago, we were in Newport, and also this brings back to one of the things I hate the most: kids who dance on an adult dance floor. Remember 2 years ago?
Yeah, when you pay $100 to go to a New Year's party, there should not be children there.
And I hate that everyone circles around and they're like, "Oh, like let's
clapping for them and being supportive."
Let's make Jeffrey feel like he's wanted. Jeffrey, you're not wanted. You're 10. No one's gonna care that you learned at your friend's bar
Isn't
mitzvah.
it past your bedtime?
Oh, and one guy tried to bribe us by buying us like a $600 bottle of alcohol. Do you remember that? Tried to bribe us to like dance with this kid. What the hell is wrong with them? That was so. Anyway, so like a month ago, we go to a wedding, and of course, there's a 7-year-old who's the owner of this mansion we were at. So he literally owns like a $25 million mansion. And of course, what does he get to do? Break dance on the dance floor. Bro, it's not your wedding. You don't get to break dance on the dance floor, Riley. You know what I mean? Anyway, so New Year's. So yeah, I don't know. My first, here's a New Year's story you didn't know. Not that interesting. I was 16 years old though. I had my license. And I had no plans, and my uncle managed a restaurant in Newport. So it was called Bouchard. Bouchard's? No. Whatever it was called. They hired me just for that night to cut bread. So I was the guy who would cut the bread into little like slices so it would be easily broken off, and I would put it in bread baskets, and I would fill up the waters for the waitresses. Now, the waitresses were all 22 years old, 20 years old. They were all college-age students making good money. Well, I was your boy, 5'10", 145 pounds of pure charm. I was my same height, but I was just like, I was a young boy there. And all the waitresses were flirting with me. Well, anyway, they tipped me.
They probably thought you were like 12 years old.
No. They thought I was like a freshman in college.
No, you have the babyest face. They were flirting with you because they thought you were 15.
So what are you saying? It's easier to flirt with a guy if they think he's younger?
Yeah, because they know that you have no chance.
Either way, I went home. I had the best night ever. I didn't drink anything, but I think somebody offered me some. I was a little nervous, right? So I'm 16 years old. I drive home at which is crazy, at like 1 a.m., which was the latest I think I'd ever been in my car. And no one else wanted the New Year's Eve balloons. So I had a 2-door BMW that was 1975, super old, 2002 model. So the oldest, tiniest, probably the same size as like today's Mini Cooper. And I had about 20 balloons, and no one wanted them. And I was like, yeah. When you're 16, and if anything's free, you take it. You just take it. So I made like $100, which that's also a lot for a 16-year-old. All I did was cut bread and flirt, or like, be shy. Being shy was my way of flirting. And I drove home, and the next morning I showed my family all the New Year's balloons. And then I went swimming. I did the polar bear plunge, which is
crazy.
Newport, Rhode Island. You go swimming in the ocean. You go with the polar bears. Everyone goes out, and you freeze to death. And I did that. It was one of my favorite, like looking back, that was my, I became sort of a man, I feel like, that New Year's. And when I was working and I was sober. You got any of those stories? No? Put you on the spot?
I mean, I really am trying to remember some New Year's. I've had a lot of really fun New Year's and a lot of really chill New Year's too. I guess we're due for a chill New Year's this year.
I don't know. I might get wasted.
Feel free, honey. We'll stay here. You can get wasted here.
I had my buddy Aubie, my roommate in college, my senior year of college. He was pretty drunk at like 10:30 at night, and sure enough, he missed New Year's.
Oh, that's
passed out.
A rookie mistake. You can't go too hard too early.
Yeah, I passed out completely. Did I do a New Year's? Oh, I talked about this last time, but Christmas. Oh, so I shared my Christmas story from Prague. I shared it on a few episodes ago. So a week later, I made my way to Galway, Ireland. I might have shared this story. Anyway, I brought absinthe. My buddy, it was me and Miguel. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was Luis. It was my two Mexican friends. Luis was with me, not Miguel. And Luis and I show up to this girl's house that we knew we studied abroad with. She had no idea how rich she was. She had a beachfront property, multi-million-dollar home, the type of home that's got all glass like windows that look outside. And she had like one of those attic doors that you pull down like the string and a staircase comes out of nowhere. Well, she had one of those and it leads up to 2 beds in like a private loft. That's where we stayed. Anyway, I had no clue. I got so drunk, but I was creeping on this girl. Yeah. So
You were being a predator?
Super predator. But she was flirting with me earlier that night. Now, I could do the math and like remember her name, but she was like a friend of a friend. Anyway, she was like flirty with me, and then all of a sudden she's got like a guy in the bedroom and he's like on his knee. This isn't like a proposal thing. It's like either an ex or they're reconciling. So he's like on his knee talking to her. She's sitting on the bed, private bedroom. I walk in and just stare at them.
Why? What possessed you to do such a dumb thing?
In my head, I was just like being social. I was like, hey guys, what's going on? But in reality, I just walked into the room.
On like a private, intimate moment?
I don't think it was intimate so much as like they were, like I was still trying to like chat and they were past chatting. Anyway, I almost got in a fight with this other dude in the backyard, but I think that was his fault. They were making fun of me for liking the Killers, but in my defense, it was 2006. And the Killers, I thought, were still pretty cool. But apparently to them, they get music like a year before us because we're dumb Americans. Like, God forbid, Ireland, you're so cool, Ireland, that, whatever. So anyway, they were, or I was a dick and didn't realize it because we were doing flaming shots of absinthe. You know what I mean? Where you take a scoop of sugar and then you dip it.
You're supposed to use the sugar cubes.
Oh, well, we just had scoops of sugar. And imagine doing this in $1 million home, wasted in your 19.
No wonder they kicked you out the next morning.
So we line everybody up, and here's the key. You lower the scoop of sugar into the absinthe without spilling it, so you don't like turn your wrist. So you lower it, you soak it, you lift it out of the absinthe, and then you light underneath it. Then you let it sort of caramelize a little bit. Then you put it into the absinthe, stir it, absinthe on fire, blow it out or cup it, something like that, and then you take the shot. I probably missed a step there, so don't try this at home. Burn your face off. Anyway, didn't vomit that I know of. Kind of just like rallied. Go to bed. My buddy Luis and I wake up the next day, and we had nowhere to go. It's New Year's Day. And then Michelle, whose parents' house it is, was like, look, I don't care where you guys go, but you got to go. And we're like, haha, funny. We're in your town, in your country. We've never been here before. Like, nah. So I do my annual polar bear plunge from the Bay of Galway in Ireland, which, by the way, was a very warm part of the country, or the world, I guess. The water was much warmer anyway. I don't know why. So anyway, I do that, and then I shower up in this like gorgeous shower, like the type of shower that's just glass walled overlooking the ocean. It was just so beautiful that I could not believe she was kicking us out. And then one of her friend's parents came. Her friend's name was Alba, but it had like 4 GHs in it because it's all Gaelic. They're crazy over there in Galway. They all speak Gaelic. They learn it as a kid. It's just a crazy language. It's like those, like your name's spelled Ashley, but it's ASHLEIGH, like those weird names. Anyway, Alba, whatever her name was, her dad drove us to the bus station, and we took a bus back to Dublin, and we found a youth hostel that night. But we get to Dublin, and it just so happens my sister was in Dublin visiting a guy who, spoiler alert, she found out was gay. She was dating a guy that was gay. I guess neither of them knew he was gay or he was trying not to be. Anyway, my own sister, my own blood, wouldn't offer us to stay with them. Also, very rich people, because she was too nervous to be like, oh, can my brother and his friends stay over? So we had to stay in a youth hostel. I was 19.
Which you were doing already anyway, all over Europe. So what's the big deal?
The big deal is that we had plans to stay at these places. It was like the 1 or 2 nights where we had a home-cooked meal.
Well, perhaps you didn't clarify the plans.
I know.
Or you did something wrong that made you overstay your welcome.
We'll put it this way. Luis from Mexico City and myself both could not believe how
inhospitable
2 girls, Michelle. Hey, and Michelle, Bree, if you're listening, like, we love you to death. It was just like shocking to us, and we'll fairly to communicate. And I get it. We were staying at your parents' house. Your parents were coming back. You weren't going to let some dudes from North America come stay with you. Sure, whatever. Maybe you don't like Mexicans, right? Build that wall. I don't know. I don't know what your deal is, Ireland. I don't know. But between her and then my sister not helping us out. I mean, we didn't have, our cell phones didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, I have a calling card at a payphone trying to talk to my sister. Like, this is no bueno. Like, luckily the hostel had beds for us still. Otherwise it's like, you know, you know what I mean? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, but that was a fun New Year's. I mean, you know, I look back on it as like, wow, kind of a, no offense to our Kentucky experience, but I was fucking footing it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I feel like,
If you want me to kick you out of my house, I will.
yeah, like, what the fuck? Stay at a hostel in Cincinnati, Ohio. I feel like you faded like 40 minutes ago.
Well, you just start rambling.
Yeah, it's
and
called
I don't
telling
have anything.
New Year's stories.
Well, I've heard these stories before.
You've never heard the story about me getting kicked out of Galway.
Yes, I have at least 2 or 3 times.
Spoiler alert, you wear now the Claddagh ring that I bought in Galway, which was meant for a man, but you had it resized to fit you. So there you go. Because that's their engagement ring they used to give. The Claddagh village. A lot of people have seen the ring but don't know what it's all about. It's called the hands. It's a poem, right? So it's hands surrounding a heart with a crown on top, and that makes up the ring. And the saying was, the hands are for friendship, the heart is for love, loyalty is found on the crown above. So the Claddagh village would think that you need friendship, love, and loyalty. Not bad.
No, that's nice.
So friendship, love, loyalty, and just a fat guy to fuck you from behind. Maybe slap a stick on your nose. Is this the worst episode of all time? Please let us know. I think it's okay. Look, hey.
I think it could have been a little bit funnier if I wasn't so self-conscious being in my parents' basement.
Why doesn't it? No. What do you mean? You have stories that you're not telling? Is that what you mean? Or?
No.
Well, I think it was perfectly fine. We don't have to go for funny. We can tell stories. We can talk about our dreams. It's mine to do what I want. And my hard drive died. Like, what am I supposed to do? This is the best we can do. Let me get my outro prepared here. I have to do it for my phone now, which is horrible. I'm not going to be able to find it. Anyway, anything you want to promote?
No, nothing to promote. Come see me on Instagram. I miss you guys. At Tasha Courtney, and Snapchat is Tasha TV. Send me a video message. I watch what's in my inbox. It might take me a few days, but I do watch it.
Yeah, if you're fat with a dick, you don't have to flop it onto her. All right, I will know, and I will report you. What do I have to promote? Nothing. I can't wait to be back in Los Angeles working. But in the meantime, I check my numbers for this. This podcast every day. I look at downloads every day. I can attest. I'm kind of obsessed about it. And I love when people share it and new people subscribe. If by any chance you listen to this podcast and you're not subscribed, go subscribe now, then go into your significant other's phone and subscribe to them. I can use every subscription ranks us better, which means more people get to see us and our downloads go higher and we get more sponsorship and I get a new laptop, 15-inch. I mean, look, if you have a 15-inch laptop, I'm not going to play around. I'll take it. I'm not trying to just say I'll only take a 13-inch. MacBook Air can go fuck itself. I'm talking the real deal MacBook Pro. That's what I'm talking. We got to go out on a high note here. So what else do we have?
What else do you have? That's on you. What do you have lined up when we get back?
I'm shooting headshots. Yeah. Here's what I decided. I'm thinking of new ways to give back. I'm shooting free headshots to all my comic friends, guys that do stand up. A lot of comics don't have money. We have a nice camera, so I'm going to shoot their photos. So if you're listening and you're a comic and you want a free headshot, hey, if you're not a comic and you want a free headshot, sexactuallypodcast@gmail.com. Let me know. I'll shoot it. Hey, maybe I'll ask you to share the episode or something, but hey, we can make something work. Go to Sex Actually on I keep on dropping my mic. Go to Sex Actually on the Facebook page and check out some of the past videos. We're going to be streaming almost all of our episodes on the Mevo live stream camera that we got. It's super cool. This one doesn't count because my computer died, so I didn't have a chance to hook that up. Plus, it would have been weird setting up a live... Like your mom, they don't even know what I do. It's so weird.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, they're going downstairs to talk to themselves. they think like I play make-believe. It basically is that. Anyhow, this is our last episode of 2016. And this is the year that we quadrupled our weekly downloads. It's the year we hit 100,000, almost 200,000. It took us 2.5 years to get to 100,000, and it took us about 8 months to get to 200,000. So for that, I'm so much grateful for you guys. honestly, the biggest gift you can give me, if you haven't rated, reviewed on iTunes, go do that. Share it with some friends. And if you haven't, absolutely hit subscribe and get some friends to subscribe. If you're like in college and you have like a news group, like a group or like a sports group you're part of, share it with them. Just share it with whoever, because when they share them on Facebook, that sucks. It gets no love. So anyway, look, I'm trying to like be positive going into 2017, and I'm still like ranting and raving my negativity here. So
Maybe you could say a positive thing.
Oh, and then a positive thing.
Say a positive. How about a positive hope for 2017?
Okay, here's some hope for. Oh, geez. Now
Some things that you're excited about.
I'm excited that I'm going to be. I'm excited to perform stand-up comedy on TV.
Ooh.
I feel like trying to get that. I'm excited to start performing at colleges, and what I'd love more than anything is for the podcast to be at the level that we can start going to like different towns across the country and performing live stand-up and also doing live podcasts. So that's what I hope for. 2017's got big stuff. Like I hate to use a gun reference, but my hand's on the trigger. I'm I'm so wired into what I want and ready to pull the trigger.
Those sound like great goals for 2017.
All right, let's pull the trigger. That's the episode, everybody. I'm trying to hit the... I'm sorry. I got all excited to end on a high note, and then I pressed the wrong button on the, if you can only see the system that we have right now. Listen, folks, it's been a blast getting to know you guys. Tasha Courtney, as always, my great co-host. I'm Dave Neal. This is Sex Actually, the podcast.
Take care.